Whatever business I had to do, I do it away from home, or they were at school. And by that time, I can move so much so fast, I'll be done and it'll be over with by the time they get home from school.
Right, right. And I know you took good care of them. I know they had everything they wanted.
Yeah. But guess what? It ain't even about everything, because guess what? I'm gonna tell you this: them kids want more love than they want money.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I'm gonna tell you this: my oldest son, he had gym shoes and Louis Vuitton shoes and Gucci shoes and stuff stacked to the ceiling, mainly them Jordans and stuff. He would collect them, and they were stacked to the ceiling. And I never forget, some of his friends would be like, "Buddy, let me wear a pair of those shoes." He'd be like, "No, I'm not letting you. These are collectibles for me." They was like, "But you never wear them. You got everything." They called him Silver Spoon. That's what the kids in school used to call him in school, Silver Spoon. Okay? But guess what? Those kids, they went to private schools. Those kids worked hard. And a lot of them I helped pay for their schooling because it got a little rough on their parents. Okay? A lot of them went to school. One of his friends is on one of those CNN talking about football stuff right now, and they still call him Silver Spoon. My son is a football coach right now for the Little League, and he just rather, had me than had all this other shit. They don't want that shit. When they're all boys down.
It seems like a lot of times, because of the negative light that's put on some of the things, that what gets lost in the shuffle is the giving back. Talk to me a little bit about, because you're gonna be real bad in the second part of this interview, because I want to get into the to the heavy hitting shit, literally. You know what I mean? But first, I want to talk about what you have given back, because you know what I mean. I know during this path, you know what I'm saying, that you've tried to equalize it a little bit, right?
Well, my East Side neighborhood, I gave back a lot, because a lot of those, back on them times, the people on the block raises you. You couldn't talk back to those people when they say, "Hey, when Miss Anderson say you go to the store for me, you go to the store. When Miss Williams say you go to the store, you go to the store." Whether we want to go for them or not. If we did something they didn't like, it wasn't like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna call your grandmother and she's gonna give you a whooping." They take their belt and whoop our ass themselves, and with nothing said about it. And those times has changed. These kids lie like a motherfucker. "Oh, Miss So and so hit me. She pushed me down. She bust me in the eye." Half of the motherfuckers he bust in the eye. Okay, so yeah, so I went back to my community. I always put Thanksgiving baskets, on porches. As I grew, and they had this thing at the police station where you pick your families. So I go and I pick 2, 3, 5, 6 families. Me and my white friend Valerie Atikian, that was my best friend growing up. We'll go and pick families and have come up with U-Haul trucks. I remember going up with U-Haul trucks with everything in it, because I had a family of 6, had a family of 4, had a family of 3, had a family of 9, because I picked 5, 6 families, and they were big families like that. And I had a U-Haul truck with everything they wanted. That's when the Tyrese was out and all kinds of shit. Everybody had a game. And I never forget the news people being there saying, "Oh my God, these women came up with U-Haul trucks, buying for these kids that didn't have, and trying to put me on the news," and I wouldn't do it. And I'm like, "No, I'm not getting on no news."
Let me ask you this: do you think, is that snitching to you? Like if you would have decided, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and go on the news and talk about it," is that like snitching?
No, that's not snitching if you go on the news and talk about what you did good for someone.
Okay.
If I wanted to do that, but my thing is, I didn't want to be exposed, because I knew I was dealing heavy. I was kind of getting deep. It was getting deep for me.
How much?
But I just wanted to feel like that. I wanted to feel like I was giving back to something, because I felt guilty. I did feel guilty. I always felt like it was wrong, and I knew it wasn't right, because you got to think, You feeding someone this dope and somebody's child is passing. Somebody's child is dying from this.
That's real. I mean, you recognize the reality.
So I felt, I was like, oh, I'm sugarcoating it, as I would say. I'm giving back, but I'm sugarcoating it because I'm doing this to people, but maybe it make it all right if I get them this. It didn't make it right, but I did it.
No, I mean, listen, can't nobody. My granddad used to say, "God rest his soul, man. Everybody got their own road to hoe." You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. So I
Right.
can't nobody judge you because they haven't lived your life. They haven't been in
Yeah.
the position you've been in. So you know what I mean. So it's like fuck 'em. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
they haven't walked these shoes. They haven't walked these shoes. And, you know, I mean, just being a young girl, just going through so much. That's why I tell people, and I had to just speak on a panel the other day with the National Council of Incarceration, Women in Incarceration. This is a big organization. They got 50 women out of prison. They got women that were doing life. A young lady that we call Granny had did 52 years in prison. This organization got her home. You know, and like I say, one day is too long in prison. And not only that, people got to stop telling these kids what goes in the house stays in the house, because that's not true.
No, it's not.
Okay, some things stays in the house, but you don't tell your kids what goes on in the house stays in the house, because that's what molestation came in with me. Because I'm shutting my mouth, because what goes in this house stays in this house, and I can't say anything. Okay, so you don't fucking do it.
Right. No, definitely. Did you you ever had any experiences with that? You know, sexual abuse or you know, any like just any kind of abuse, anything like that, or
Yeah, molestation, yes, definitely.
Oh wow.
You know, so that's why I say, and that's the first thing you were taught back then, and those black families. What goes on stays in the house. You don't say a damn word out of my house. No, I never taught my kids that shit. I taught my kids to speak up.
That's right.
Keep moving. Tell me anything. Because a motherfucker say they gonna kill you, tell them the motherfucker gotta kill me first. That's why I tell my kids, motherfucker touch you, tell them that you gotta kill her first.
I mean, look, that's the thing, man. I feel like shit. The niggas was lucky you wasn't going out busting heads left and right based on what you've been through. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I had my fair share of knocking these motherfucking heads off.
Now let's get into that. I want to talk about, like, you know, you can't be a queen pin without having to put in some of that physical work.
I mean, you have to. Because then next thing you know, they gonna think, see, it's a lot of motherfuckers that get money and be pussies. Okay? They feel like, the other people feel like, well, I can keep taking from that motherfucker, because that motherfucker ain't nothing but a pussy. So I take so much from him, and the motherfucker ain't gonna deal with me no more. And then some next thing you know, the pussy get killed. Well, you was the main man. Now you done got your ass knocked off because you've been a pussy from day one. Like I tell motherfuckers, don't think because I'm a woman and I ain't got nothing standing behind me, because that's a motherfucker lie.
That's a lie like a mother.
You ain't gotta be. I'm a woman, but you don't know what the fuck stand behind me.
That's real.
Now, because guess what? Toe to toe, door to door with a motherfucker.
That part right there. Did you? I mean, was it a? You know, did you? I know you had goons. You know, but I mean, it was.
My goons had goons. I had goblins.
I love it. Talk to me about the nightlife. I've seen a lot of photos, a lot of footage of you partying.
We party like motherfucker. That's why I say it's no fun no more. Like, you know, I don't know what these young people call partying these days. They call snatching glasses off the face and running a part of partying and sitting back, because these right now, it's just the kids got so spoiled to they thinking they see the social media, and we didn't have that back then, so all that glitter wouldn't go to us. You know what I'm saying? All that glitter ain't gold. So we just partied. We had a good time. Everybody had their own motherfucking money. We ain't had to take nothing from a motherfucker. Motherfucker had to take nothing from us. But if you tried it, then you got dealt with. See, nowadays, these motherfuckers here, you don't have to, they just do stuff just for the gram. They do stuff for social media. You know, they feel like this is initiation to be cool. No, but if you took something from me, I'm not going to be a pussy about it. Because guess what? You're not going to take something from me and say, oh, that bitch is a pushover. Oh, I'm always take from that bitch. She ain't going to do shit. Nah. No. My friend always taught me this. Don't even let them owe you 50 cents.
Right. Because if they owe you 50 cents, then the next time it's going to be $1, $5.
Yeah, and it's going to keep on till then they think they can hold a bitch out. But you're not going to hold me.
Not at all.
You know, and in this game, you can't be scared.
No,
you can't fear this game now. A lot of motherfuckers get money, but they fear the game. But they just like to have the money. Yeah. They really scared.
No, I get that. No,
I mean, I had boyfriends that was different kind of boyfriends. You know, where they done did so much shit in the street till we could be sitting down. I never forget it. I was sitting down with my boyfriend one day. We was at his mama's house. All I remember him saying is, "You and mama get on the floor." I'm like, huh? Get on the floor now. It's like the motherfucker can hear from miles away.
What?
We got on the floor. As soon as he said he threw our ass out on the floor, gunfire came through the windows. Okay? So, guess what? He was built for that type of shit. He could smell that shit. He could feel that shit.
Yeah. Being the aggressive type.
To feel it. You got to feel it. You got to know it. Your intuition got to kick in. Your street shit got to kick in.
Right. That's real. So, I mean, being the aggressive, let me say this right, having the aggressive approach to the game that you had, I mean, was your dating life, was it difficult to date, man? Even when they hard men, it's still hard to deal with a woman that's, a little bit more stern.
Yes. I can say, for me, I had to date men that was just as aggressive as me. But then that didn't go well because we always at each other's throat.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I date men that's aggressive than me, then if shit come into play, you hurt one another. I remember getting my nose broke in Chicago, and them motherfuckers called us Ike and Tina coming through the hotel with blood everywhere. I remember shooting at my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I remember putting a gun to his head, telling him to get down on the ground. On the floor when we in the house. Get on the floor, motherfucker. He been shot in his head before. He said, listen, put that gun down, because you going to shoot me. You going to make a mistake or you going to mean to do it. Either way it go, you going to shoot me. I'm going to be dead. Your kids going to suffer because we both lose. I go to jail. You go to jail the rest of your life and I'm dead. So your kids lose and my kids lose. So that's the way he was talking to me when the gun was to the head.
Yeah. I mean, shit, like, it's...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Who is it? Who? Oh. Janae. Oh, hey, baby.
I gotta grab the
Okay, I was gonna say, because nobody come to my house, I'm about to go crazy. Hello? I'm sorry.
That's all good. No.
Oh.
You good. This your interview. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. That was my girl for coming to bring my hair.
Yeah, don't worry about nothing. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. Go.
So, what was I at? I got threw off.
Put the Glock down and finish the interview. It's okay, baby.
Yeah, you all right. You all right. We were talking about being aggressive in this game.
Oh yeah. So like he said, we both gonna lose. So he ended up leaving out the house, and when he ended up leaving out the house, I was so mad because I knew with me pulling the gun to his head that he wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
So I shot out the window at him.
Oh shit! That's a goodbye for that ass, boy.
Yeah.
Shit. Shit. I mean, shit. You came to a conclusion. Shit.
Yes.
Not mad at you.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to watch your interview on the Breakfast Club, right? And I did hear you. You kind of touched on it, but then, I want you to talk to me about the girl with the hammer. I just gotta know because I put that clip on my Instagram. Talk to me about that situation.
The hammer. Oh, that was that dumbass boyfriend, the one I'm talking about. The aggressor. Yeah, well, they were creeping around, I guess, and this particular day, I don't know what was wrong with him. He had to be a lunatic. We switched cars.
Okay.
And he had my truck.
Okay.
And I had, at the time, computer shit was just getting hot. So I had that personalized name. Okay. I had that personalized name on the back of my truck. Okay. And I had a name called Bus One because I'm into I was into that Madam stuff back then, And Bus One was back then, computers was getting hot, and I had it was a website, say bus1.com, where you could see squirters. And the way I did it was, me and my friend set it up for $1 for 1 minute and $1. You could see the bitches squirting and hitting the squirters, and they hitting the camera, squirting on the camera. And then, so we got 70,000 hits. That was $70,000. Damn. For $1. That's a lot of money. So that was a lot of money right there when the computer shit just started coming and websites starting to get up. And my license plate said Bus One. So it was bus1.com for people to know. So it wasn't hard to pick out the truck that I had. Mm-hmm. So I remember he not coming home. And I went looking for him. And I just went to where his neighborhood was and just scoped around in those areas where hotels are. So I know you weren't going to come to the east side where those hotels at. You from this southwest neighborhood, so you're going to potentially kind of go that way for hotels. So I found my truck, and it was after 12 o'clock checkout. It was not a hotel, it was a motel. So it was after 12 o'clock. So I seen a lady, with a little cart. She was cleaning. And a friend of mine was with me, and she was cleaning. And I said, it's 12 o'clock. I said, have everybody left yet? And she was like, no, it's still a lot of people here. They need to go. I said, She said, well, is anything wrong? I said, well, that's my truck right there. And I said, and I just like we were married, right? So I said, well, that's my husband. I think he's here with someone. And so when you play into that with women, her emotions start pouring in. Oh, my husband did me like that too. Oh, that motherfucker dirty ass son of a bitch. We done broke up because he done been with a girl. And I know how you feel. And I said, well, can I see your? She had a little list with who names was on there. So I didn't see his name. I seen the girl name, and I was familiar with that name. So I said, oh, they still there. I said, well, I'm going to give you this $100. Can you knock on the door and tell them that they have to leave? You have to clean up. It's been over. Checkout time been up, So I think he felt something because he said he felt something. And I think the girl kind of felt something too. So she walked out first. As soon as she bent that corner, she had a little night bag, you know. That's why I don't like those motherfucking beef jerkies right now, because that bitch had a lot of them in the bag and some Hennessy. That bitch had beef jerky and Hennessy. And I don't drink dark liquor either. I want to bust a Hennessy bottle every time I see one, and I don't eat beef jerky. But they had a good old time with the beef jerkies and motherfucking Hennessy, right?
Hennessy.